Boom, monkeys. Welcome back to the Crypto Boogie channel. Today we have Tacos and Kimchi episode 11 with my amigo, Mr. Angry Twinkie. Hit it, Twinksters. And that's the way we go. Twinksters, what's this about you playing Illuvium on your channel, bro?
Yeah. So we were chatting a little bit last night. So streamed last night, and I was like, I'm still, kind of awake, and this Illuvium beta has released, and I'm, kind of want to play it and try to earn some airdrops and whatever else, since I do hold a decently sized bag of Illuvium. So I said, what the hell? Let me just throw it out to the world. I dropped in a few chats and whatever. I was like, I'm going to start streaming again. I'm going to go stream on Twitch and Twitter. I'm going to play Illuvium if anyone who wants to see it, because I know a lot of the Moon Gang maybe has bought Illuvium or is holding Illuvium, but hasn't maybe looked at some of the gameplay. And side note, I know Illuvium released their official launch trailer for that. But I was like, let me show it to the people and let's just check it out. If it's fun, maybe I'll play some more, maybe I'll stream that or something, who knows, man. Maybe I end up I need like a big booby Vietnamese girl to stream for me. Right, she can do all the talking, whatever, and I'll just play in the background so I can get all the likes and all the super chats and shit.
With the Chinese rice hat, with a little Asian rice hat. That'd be dope, bro.
You know what? I'll get it so you can only see from the mouth down, right? You can just see that, and people just have to use their imagination. Anyway, so I wanted to show the game and just check it out for myself, and it's fun. Then maybe other people if I think it's fun, maybe other people will find it fun.
Now,
and so
I'm assuming you were doing this shit on their. Of course, it's a testnet based game.
Yeah,
but is it on the Ethereum blockchain or is it on IMX?
Good question. I know IMX front ends the wallet. I do think it's on IMX. Yeah, don't hold me to it. I'd have to go look at I know the token is on Ethereum, but where are they actually storing their NFTs and other aspects of that? I think it's on the IMX side of things.
Roger that, man. That's rather intriguing, bro.
I'd have to go look.
Yeah, dude. Good luck trying to gain all the freaking views on fucking Twitch, man. You know what it's over there, bro. You better man. Yeah. You got to be one of these 18, 19, 21-year-old freaking gamer girls, bro, with doggone schoolgirl outfits and shit, bro, in order to freaking get some views on that shit, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Just subscribe to my OnlyFriends. With AI and imaging shit getting better, right? Maybe I do an AI virtual avatar, right? And then I can be whomever.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea, man. That wouldn't be a freaking bad idea, bro. Freaking getting one of those freaking virtual girls, act like she's playing the game, but it's really you freaking doing all that shit. Damn, this gamer's good, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't that make you gay?
That's the real question on that one. Hey man, it's the right month for it. As far as the game itself, it's not bad. It's actually, so I did play the team fight tactics auto battler. So it's kind of got a card element to it. You pick your deck and you build your team, and then you put your team down, and you can apply certain abilities to the team. And then you hit start, and they just go is basically what it does. Neither you win or you lose. And then there's the open world game where you explore and you can find and capture alluvials. Who was it? I think Devin was giving me a hand. One of the Moon Gangers was in the chat. He's like, push this button, check this out, try this. And the first alluvial I tried to capture just smashed me, just destroyed me. And then I had to go on a side quest to build a new sword, and then I smashed it and captured it. So, I got my first alluvial in the game as far as this one is mine.
The people that know how to play Pokemon, because the thing is, man, you and I are 2 years apart, are about a year apart, bro. I'm on the last year or on the last years of Generation X. You're on some of the first years of the millennials, bro. Our generation, because we're kind of overlapping here, Twinkie, even though, yes, we're different freaking generations and shit like that. But we really didn't get to fuck around with too much of Pokemon. Our shit was Masters of the Universe and
G.I. Joe.
Cats and
Voltron, G.I. Joe and shit. Yeah. And then early games for us were really Super NES, first Sega Master System type stuff, Atari, so it was we
were there for the console wars between Sega and Super Nintendo and Nintendo. Remember that? Sonic versus Mario? Remember all that shit?
Yep. And, I remember people playing Pokemon. I was just slightly too old, I think, to really get into it. But I remember Pokemon, we've talked about this. I remember people with Pogs, getting Pogs and playing with those things, and then whatever else. But so Illuvium, Here's my review after having played it maybe for like 90 minutes so far. Simple enough, fun. It's well built, well designed. I can see that they definitely took their time in putting this thing together. Very quality, very polished. I think it's got some real legs. So aside from just like look at the pure charts of Alluvium, it's actually, would I do the open world thing where I got to fly around and like try to find alluvials and mine the materials to make weapons to capture the alluvials? Probably not. That's kind of a big time sink, is my estimation. Could I maybe play the auto battler where it's like play the card, pick the character, drop them on, push go? Yeah, like I could maybe do that, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and get a worthwhile play experience. So it's very well done. Hats off to Kieran and the crew over there. They did a great job.
I need to hop on board, bro. Is the beta still live?
Yeah, still live. Yeah. I mean, you can just check my Twitch or X postings, and I'm sure I'll stream it again this week too.
Cool, man. Cool, bro. It's gonna be intriguing, bro. I mean, maybe I'll go check it out or something like that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so like the closing thoughts on my side on this one is, unless I'm coming up with like cool stuff that, okay, either one, it's like a little bit of a stress reliever for the day, and okay, cool. Two, if I'm not finding cool stuff in the game that like, personally number go up, in value, like that's time I can be spending elsewhere.
Yeah, I concur. Hey, man, but that airdrop, son, that freaking airdrop.
That's the thing, right? And we were talking offline about some of the interesting meetings we've been in over the last few weeks about some other super interesting airdrop stuff through some interesting programs and like, right? So it is really intriguing. Hypothetically, if you have kids, I am thoroughly advising you to enslave your children and force them to play Alluvium.
Sweatshop.
Yeah, sweatshop video game NFTs. And
Hey,
the like Filipinos and Chinese people,
man.
and like they're gonna be on that.
Shout out to Agent J on that, man. Them Filipinos over there, man, got them sweatshops over in the Philippines, bro. I think it was Axie Infinity, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Then last bull run. Dude, I was just getting it. I was barely learning DeFi, bro, and I heard so much about Axie Infinity. I tried getting into it, bro, and it was just too expensive to even play, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Benefits of getting it earlier. So I want to acknowledge Smooth Brain's got a question out there about if SILV will be required to play. Not to the best of my knowledge. I'm not seeing so far where that's necessarily required. Again, I'm only about 90 minutes into the game between trying the open world, what do they call it? Overworld, I think is that one. And then the auto battler, which is arena. And maybe some of the folks in the chats might have better ideas, but as far as I know, SILV is not required.
Yeah. Well, by the way, cats, we are going to cover the ILV token, bro. I was even asking that. Do not as I do, monkeys. I was considering getting a little bit of a leverage play so I can buy more ILV, man. You know what I'm saying? Remember I was talking to you about that, Twinksters?
Yeah. I know a place where you can lever up like, 1,000 times leverage if you want to swing for it. I do not recommend that. I do not recommend that to anyone. I'm just saying it's out there.
Yeah, not financial advice, cats. Not financial advice. All right. Since you already pulled some people from the comments, shout out to Mr. Smooth Brain, first Moon Ganger in the chat. Hit the like on the way in. These gents always dish the sauce, and that is something we usually do, monkeys. I see 28 people here in the freaking chat or in viewing us live. I'd like to see 28 likes, man. At the bottom of this channel, of this video, you see Mr. Angry Twinkie's link. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe. You go below that, you'll see my Twitter and my Instagram. Shout out to Damien with that badass freaking thumbnail. Freaking Sonic flying into the moon, bro, with that freaking FTM fucking banner. My amigo Cristian, firme. My homie, freaking Karn, sweet. Game looks fun. I gotta check it out, Karn, man. I gotta check it out. Tonyo's in the chat as well. Hey, man, I think I've seen you here once, man. Make sure you subscribe to myself and Twinksters. And then we got my amigo Alex P. What's up, dog? How you doing, man? Well,
that's Tony O in the Citadel and in some of the other chats.
Oh, okay.
So what's up, Tony? Good seeing you, man.
In Spanish, we say Toño. You know what I'm saying?
That's Tony O. I think he was just trying to like cram them all in, just try to make it fit in the YouTubes.
Hey, man, that works, dude. That works. Well, speaking about funny shit, bro, and gaming and things of that nature, let's go over the memes. I got a couple memes for you cats today, bro. Some in the gun-related realm. You know what I'm saying, dude? Would Americans don't use the metric system. Americans loads 9mm, bro.
Damn straight.
I can't argue with that, man. I can't argue with that. And this is for you cats that like going to the freaking titty club. Me watching the bro hand his phone to the stripper, crypto wallet open, and say, "You choose a fair tip, babe." Dude, speaking of that, there's this one cat, bro, on there's this one cat, bro, on freaking X, and he claims to be Richard's brother, bro. He said he got, if I remember correctly, and I don't know if he's really Richard's brother, he said he got all his dinero jacked by strippers, dude. All his freaking pulse chain jacked and hex jacked by strippers. That's what I remember hearing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Look, okay, so do I think somebody got all their shit jacked by a stripper? Probably, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's what's DCC like to call it? Operation Desert Cheeks?
Yeah, man. Make sure you cats, if you guys ever walk into these damn clubs, bro, make sure you freaking take off the app on your wallet, por favor, and make it to a point where you have to re-input your freaking doggone 12-word seed phrase. And mind you, this has to be a condom wallet that you have in your phone. It should never be your primary wallet. Food for thought, monkeys. Food for thought.
Yeah, I've got a separate wallet, separate. So when we say separate wallet, in this case, we're really talking about separate seed phrases on this stuff.
Yeah.
And it is not my main wallet. And that's just in case it's like I don't keep the majority of my funds in there. I keep a certain level of liquid funds in there if I want to try to grab something on the go.
So don't trust yourselves when you're intoxicated. Please don't. It never works. Never works.
Don't trust a stripper.
Don't trust yourself and the stripper on alcohol.
For
know what I'm saying? When your girlfriend is saying, "Choke me harder," then suddenly stops.
Yeesh.
Oh no! Oh no! No, no!
Dude, I have not seen Planet of the Apes, bro. I've never found interest in this fucking series, dude.
Not in the recent one. I remember was Charlton Heston in the old one? Yeah, I've seen the old Charlton Heston one.
Yeah, and today, cats, we're gonna cover Giga Chat, and this is what I fucking felt like when Twinkie told me Giga Chat went on a fucking dump. That's exactly what I felt like, Twinkie. What do you know? Giga Chat freaking dumped, bro. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? We'll see how the next few weeks shape up. You still might have an opportunity to snag a bag.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got this one, and this is just a regular meme. Gun owners watching non-gun owners stockpile apocalypse supplies for them. So, cats, serves you no purpose, man. If you're gonna stockpile freaking supplies, because shit's gonna hit the fan, bro, and you ain't got nothing to defend it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what the hell are you gonna use, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, go for it, Twixters.
Yeah. We've talked about assorted security platforms, right? And certainly, y'all kind of live in the region you live in, and if you have the opportunity to relocate, okay, fine. And like, I'm not an ultra prepper. I've lived a good chunk of my life in New England. I'm used to having several weeks to months of food supplies in the cupboards up here, just because of winter. Right? You might lose power for a few days. It's interesting to see the generational fall off in some of that behavior, though, as people have become so used to having central power and consistent power that they forget about things like, okay, medication, generators, food, canned food, dry food, stuff like that, just to get you over the hump in case, at least through a weekend.
At least water, man. At least freaking water, dude.
Potable water.
Potable water, bro. Water's going to be a big one, especially for you cats living in the southern states like Texas, bro. You're going through areas like droughts, homie. You need that motherfucking water, bro. Now, the next post I'm going to show you is not really a meme, but Twinkie, remember I was calling this shit months ago, bro? I called it way before freaking Bitcoin Archive even mentioned it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It says, listen, Bitcoin breaks 150,000 if Trump wins presidency. I sincerely believe, Twinksters, sincerely believe if Donald Trump gets reelected, and I think he will because he has stated he wants to go into freaking mail-in ballots as well. He wants his campaign to focus on that the same way Democrats are doing, bro. And if he wins, man, we're probably going to run hard all the way into late 2025, son. Late 2025, bro.
God, I hope so. I hope so. Like, get me onto the next thing, right? Like the next thing in my life, Boogie. On that one.
I'm ready to vote for a felon, bro. I'm so ready to vote for a felon, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, right? So here's what strikes me as fascinating about the U.S. is, and I would love to be able to pick the founding fathers' brains on this stuff. Hey guys, I know it seems crazy to believe, but pretty soon we're going to have basically a senile old man, a convicted felon who loves to grab him by the pussy, and a guy who had his brain eaten by worms as our most viable presidential candidates.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
The system has failed. Sorry, guys. I think that this, I don't know. So we took a wrong left turn at Albuquerque.
I concur, man. If Donald Trump wins, we're probably going to run into November, October of 2025. If Joe Biden wins, I say possibly November, bro. All the way.
Yeah, then the first nukes start hitting us.
Yeah, and not to mention, man, that Joe Biden, he's a big advocate of unrealized gains, bro, of taxing unrealized gains, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if the value of your Bitcoin or your Hex or your Pulse chain or your Phantom went up, bro, and even though you didn't cash out or you didn't even know those sell, because it's appreciated in value, you have to pay taxes on it, bro. That is motherfucking wild, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's garbage.
That is wow. Wow, bro. Hello, Mexico, bro. If that happens. You know what I'm saying, dude?
I was telling DCC the other week, I was like, man, part of my escape plan is, push comes to shove. Not saying it's plan A. I'm just saying it's crossed my mind. I'll go to some third world country or something, Africa, Southern America, some poor part of Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
where I tragically pass away in a fire, and the only means of identification might be like a molar and a pinky or something like that.
Yeah. Well, since we're on the subject of politics, and war has a lot to do with crypto, Tim Pool had a recent freaking video that he posted up, man. Of course, I am putting this video at a 1.5x speed, cats, but this is the title of the video: Democrats push bill to automatically add men to draft, prepping for war. Now, by what he means by Democrats, it's actually a female Democrat that's actually trying to streamline the process, so everybody signs up for selective service faster. So we're only going to go about 3 minutes into this. It's going to be a lot faster because it's at a 1.5x. So let's see what he has to say, man.
Give you this story from militarytimes.com. Lawmakers move to automate selective service registration for all men. I hope Gen Z is listening to this one, and Gen Alpha. And I hope people who have kids who are Gen Alpha are listening to this one. Now, to be fair, if you're a dude, you got to sign up for the draft either way. There hasn't been one in 50 years, so most people aren't worried about it. But I'm pretty sure if there's a World War III coming and the U.S. thinks it may be the case, yeah, they're going to draft all of you. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I'm old. I am 38, and so I don't got to worry about it. When you're between like 18 and 26, you're just like, oh, I hope a war doesn't break out where they're going to make me fight it. And I don't got to go fight for these crackpots. But Gen Alpha and Gen Z will have to.
What is the cutoff for?
Well, they
and how are we defining men in the modern vernacular?
So it'll go forever, right? If so,
it's needed. It's
right. Like Ukraine's drafting women now and the elderly. That's what Ukraine's pulling women and the elderly to the front lines, and they don't give them. There's no training. They grab a guy off the street. There's videos of them grabbing. They'll grab a guy off the street and be like, "You're going to war," and then people freak out like, "What's happening?" They put him in a uniform, hand him a gun, and say, "Go," and then they're just cannon fodder. But they don't care. The U.S. certainly doesn't care. NATO doesn't care. So here's the story: new plan from House lawmakers. Language included in the House Armed Service Committee's draft of the annual defense authorization bill would mandate the automatic registration of all males between 18 and 26 living in America in the selective service system, the federal database used for a military draft in the case of a national emergency. It hasn't been used for that purpose in 52 years, but men who fail to register can face a host of legal consequences. Now, I wonder what would be happening right now, where you have a Democrat, Chrissy Houlihan, sponsoring the automatic registration language, calling it both a money-saving and common sense reform. Why? I tell you this, I can assure you right now, the majority of young men will never agree to fight in a nation where women do not have to, but are granted equal say in government, politics, and favored in courts. There is a huge issue right now with the rise of the likes of Andrew Tate and Pearl Davis, and now you got Homath, and these channels exist for a reason. Young men are not happy with the disproportionate, the second-class citizen system that, as related to things like selective service. You go to an 18-year-old guy and say, you will be forced to fight and die for a country because a female politician who does not have to do it mandated you do so. Now you go back in time, and a guy says, I am going to go fight and die, and you're expected to do the same. And a lot of guys were like, it's our duty, we all do it. Now you have a system where you have a bunch of elite multimillionaire women like Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats who would vote in favor of this, not to mention older guys who don't have to fight, telling young men they have to go fight and die.
And there you go, cats. Speaking of war, with the things that are escalating in frickin' Eastern Europe, bro, that being China, Russia, which have been hit with some missile systems the United States did issue, frickin' the Ukrainians. I think it was called HIMARS. That's what they were utilizing, man. You know what I mean? To hit those frickin' sites on the western portion of Russia, if anything, man. Now, from my understanding, Joe Biden did not give consent for the Ukrainians to go ahead and hit Moscow or anything like that, but just in the immediate areas that are militarized, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like this may be a black swan event that may occur, bro, which will be another buying opportunity for any of us. Of course, I don't want to see that happen, bro. I don't want to see some of my homies, kids get drafted, bro. Well, they're no longer kids; they're young adults. You know what I'm saying? And I think if this were to occur, we'd probably get a dip, and you'd probably see the money printers go burr, man, and then you would see everything pump, if anything.
Yeah. So certainly, I think it's garbage in the grand scheme of things. I've long thought it was garbage. I don't want to see certainly like basically World War III, although it seems like we continually inch closer to it and not away from it. As far as black swans, that's definitely on the potential list. I'm continuing to watch this bird flu stuff that we had talked about a few weeks back, right? Like I'm seeing more traction on it. Like are they going to try to run the same playbook again? As far as the rest of it, so I think partially what I'm watching for is just overall increases in global liquidity, which this is just me spitballing, increases in global liquidity, right, wrong, indifferent, manufactured or not, black swan event causing a crash, and with that surplus of liquidity that people like the powers that be use it to gobble up the assets. Seems like the playbook on the table again.
Yeah, man. I was having a conversation with a certain cat in the DGen Roundtables chat, bro. My buddy Gaines by Casey had asked to see some videos that were educational, so I sent him a video, bro. It says, could possible civil war break out in the United States, which I think is a possibility, man. It does seem like it's inching towards that. And we were having a little conversation. And I think if World War III were to occur, bro, it's not going to be the way it was in World War I or in World War II, where you had the Axis and the Allies, but it's going to be individual scuffles. Civil war here, civil war there. This country's fighting this country. This country's fighting this country. In other words, basically a Royal Rumble where everybody's going at it, man. I don't see there being too many alliances and things of that nature, bro. I could see China going at it with Taiwan, bro, and the U.S., North Korea going at it with South Korea, freaking Russia, of course, going at it with Ukraine, and possibly Western Europe, the United States having its own problems, Mexico having big-time cartel problems, cartel war within its own country, man. You know what I mean? And problems that Brazil may end up having in their own country. Food for freaking thought, cats. The possibility of a black swan event is a possibility. So food for freaking thought. Dude, I'm out of dry powder, Twinkie. Give me a second. I'm out of dry powder, Twinkie. Give me 1 second, Twinksters. Take care of the chat. I got to let my dog go out.
Of course. So yeah, along those lines, we've seen some governmental shakeups around the world. Obviously, election year for us. I was covering last night on my stream stuff like European Central Bank, Canada, which is the first G7 country to cut interest rates. ECB cut rates. The European Central Bank. Denmark expected or is cutting rates because they have to index against the ECB, even though they're not part of the Eurozone. It's just part of their legal agreements and how their currency is structured. So I'm awaiting and watching for more countries potentially, again, to cut some rates, which should move a number of areas into more risk-on assets, which would hopefully be good for our bags. But again, watching for things like money printers, global upheaval, political upheaval that, to Boogie's point, maybe a little bit more regionalized. Maybe I don't want to call it skirmish because that seems like a bit of an understatement of some of the things, but it won't necessarily be, to your point, allies and Axis World War III type things. So let's say larger regional conflict is maybe the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, pretty much, man. You're correct about that. It's probably going to be larger regional conflicts, and of course, this has a lot to do with money. So let's go ahead and talk about the hardest money out there, Twinkie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have all sorts of inappropriate jokes, but I'm guessing we're talking about Bitcoin on this one.
Yeah, let's move on to the first token of the day, cats.
What's that old Huey Lewis line from Power Love? What's it? Stronger and harder than a bad girl's dream.
That's hilarious, dude. Let's see if I can pull up the freaking chart here. Here it is. Bitcoin, man. Current value of Bitcoin, man, 69,595, bro. We made an attempt, Twinkie. We made an attempt to try to compromise this high again of about 73,596. The attempt was made. Currently, we are at about day 40, if I am correct. No, yeah, day 40, because we are printing a UTC candle. And that is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, that's when the Bitcoin chart goes off of. And if we activate our EMA ribbon, you can see that we do still have strong areas of support, and we can see that the EMA ribbon is fanning out a little bit. Since it's fanning out, you can see that we do have this area of support, man. Now, if we go into day 45 and we dip, that would be a strong possibility. It would not surprise me if we dip at about day 45, bro. And where could we come down to? I would say possibly down here to an area of about 66,252. That could mark our freaking 45-day freaking low. And then we would start a new cycle. Or we could push all the way up to day 60, which would be around June 30th, give or take, ballpark. Now, of course, let's check to see how this sucker is doing on the weekly, man, because we got to follow up with the weekly chart next. Let's see. Now, this is Bitcoin on the weekly. As you can see, it is following that Elliott wave structure I had set up. And the immediate areas of support that I do have, man, if Bitcoin does come down, you can see this thin blue line. I'm sure you can see it right there, Twinksters.
Yes.
That value is at 63,754, or if we're lucky, we'll come down here to 60,522. Now, being redundant, man, I do not think we are going to break below, unless a black swan event occurs. That's a different story. We're not going to break below 57,559 because from the first Bitcoin cycle top, we have this giant ass area of support here, man. Right in here, bro. And that is from the first cycle top we had in 2021. Know what I mean? So I really don't think we'll break that unless a black swan event happens, dude. And I think that's going to provide a shitload of support from where we're at, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then what's our kind of our next fallback position on that one? If you're kind of just looking at some of those, is that 52, 55? Let's say we drop through that, then I can see like.
Let's see. If we break below 57, then we would possibly have to come down here to this area at about 52.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I was thinking like 52. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking 52
yeah,
before.
Let me grab this freaking trend line over here, and you can see it right there.
Yep.
It's that green line. I know it looks really convoluted, but it would be that area of support. Bro.
Oh.
And then if we break that, we'd have to come down here to about 47, and then below that, man, you're talking about 39. But I don't foresee that happening unless we get like a black swan or something like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's bad news bears.
Yeah, it has to be significant bad news in order for that to happen, if anything. So
yeah, then we're going to start looking like the Fallout games and TV show.
Yeah, tell me about it. Have you been keeping up with that TV show, Twinksters?
No, man, I really haven't had much time for much by way of what I'll call passive entertainment.
Yeah, I only saw the first episode, man. I didn't get to hit up the other ones, bro. Of course, I don't have Amazon Prime, and I don't want to waste money on that shit.
Yeah, you know, it ain't a waste if you need the delivery and you get to watch people kick each other in the head once a month on Friday nights. So
you told me about that. What fights were you checking out, Twinksters?
Yeah. So I want to see in particular a submission grappling event. Mikey Musumeci, who is by all accounts one of the nicest kids ever, kind of a savant when it comes to submission grappling. He went up against Gabriel Sousa, who was the last person to defeat him in competition like 4 years ago. And I think the last person to actually submit Mikey. Mikey made it look easy out there. Like Mikey was just a different animal that night. And looked great out there.
How old is this kid?
Mikey, I think he's like 25, 26, I think. Okay, they call him Darth Rigatoni.
Darth Rigatoni, man.
Yeah.
Why the Star Wars adage, bro?
Well, he's like nice kid, but has his dark side. Lives on a diet of like pizza and coffee, and Italian kid, and just chokes the bejesus out of everyone. It is something to watch. Anyway, yeah. So I watch that.
Scuffle, man. I gotta see that cat. How's this freaking striking?
Rudimentary, but it's not MMA. This one is he competes in submission grappling.
Okay.
So he'll probably make the transition at some point in time just to dip his toes into it. But I'm sure he's being very well compensated for his submission grappling endeavors.
Yeah, man. That's one area I would not want to go down in a scuffle, bro, to the deck.
Well, I don't know. You would look at like certain individuals, like your fitness influencers, and put them next to this kid, and you'd be like, all right, these two guys walk into like a room. Only one of them is walking out. Average layperson's going to look at them. You're going to be like, which one you putting the entire house on? Right? Like I'm putting the house on Mikey, but like average person will look at that and not understand what they're looking at.
Yeah, man. You told me he looks like a pretty normal kid. He doesn't look like a fighter, man.
No, he does not look like a fighter. Not in the least. You look at him and be like, yeah, I'm going to crush this kid. And, you will come to regret your life decisions.
Until he wipes the fucking deck with you.
Anyway. So yeah, that's my pitch for Prime, man. You can buy some shit you need, get it delivered quickly. And once a month you watch people beat the bag out of each other.
Yeah. Tell me about it, bro.
Muay Thai and tiny gloves.
Speaking of, I remember Floyd Mayweather. He got paid when he fought Jake Paul, bro, and I think he got paid in Ethereum. He even came out in a freaking Ethereum robe. Know what I mean?
Okay, hey man, it just means we're kind of grinding along. Speaking of Ethereum, before we fully segue over there, I did want to at least acknowledge a couple things on the Bitcoin side of things. So obviously, we've been bouncing around for a little bit here on the Bitcoin side of things. Obviously, ETFs. We did have some major ETF inflows. I think last week we saw the second highest day of inflows since the ETF inception. So questions, I know some folks have been asking like, hey, what's the deal? We're seeing different volume and different things in the news, but we don't seem to be punching through all-time highs. Realistically, and I would need to poke around some more on-chain data. I'm thinking, this is just me speculating, that there's just profit taking by investors, which is alleviating some of the buy pressure on this. So just because we have these ETFs, they're not like the magic wand. Hey, you win, life. Certainly, it's going to help pump our bags, but it's not the only thing that comes into play. So it seems to be that there's some run-ups and drawdowns on that, a little bit of sideways chop, so accumulation, distribution, and like I know people are tired of the chop and they just want to say, hey, where's my new all-time high? I want my Lambo, yesterday. It's just not the reality of it. It does.
Crypto moves fast, but not that fast. I'm saying
it does and it doesn't, right? Like you find the right thing overnight and then take your profits and run. But for something like Bitcoin, not so much. And one of the things I think people also need to stop and think about for a moment is Bitcoin it's the biggest thing we've got by way of actualized market cap, right? It's the number one thing and everything follows it. As that continues to grow, it's going to take more and more economic energy to move those numbers. So, stop and think for a second. We are basically, continuing to bounce around a resistance range of last cycle's all-time high. Yes, I know we set a new all-time high this cycle, but they're not all that far apart. And we can talk about 4-year cycles and everything else. Fundamentally, they're not that far apart. So we continue bouncing against this upper range. You best believe people who had bought the top last cycle are looking to cash out and make moves. There are going to be some folks who are like, hey, this thing is just not for me. Other folks coming into the market, institutional money coming in. We know that the boomers control, 68, it's some ludicrous number, like $68 trillion in assets in the U.S. under the boomers, right? Yeah, just to put it in perspective.
Majority, man.
Yeah. So they're still the richest generation for now. We know those funds and economic energy will be moving around. Some portion of that will inevitably flow into crypto and ETFs and the like. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. Again, key takeaway, as the numbers get bigger, it takes more economic energy to move them in an upward or downward direction. Obviously, when people get levered up to the tits, like we saw this past, Thursday, Friday, where like people are just getting wiped on leverage, then leverage, like liquidation cascades can and will occur. So
that would be the stupidest thing to do, Twinkie. You leverage yourself out, man, and then fucking short and fucking long, bro. Just buy the asset you're gonna buy, and that's it, dude. Not financial advice.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Just buy spot. When in doubt, buy spot. If you're going to play around with leverage, extreme minority of the portfolio, please.
Yeah, man. Just hodl that bitch, bro. Hodl that. Well, speaking about inflows, ETF flows, and all that other shit, man, let's go over to the CME, bro. The CME Fed Watch tool and see what we have coming up, man. As you monkeys can see right here, man, we do have an FOMC meeting on June the 12th, which is a couple days away, man. And 99% of the market predicts that we're not going to get an interest rate cut. Of course, there's a 0.6% chance that we would get a 25 basis point rate cut, but that's likely not going to happen. Now, Twinksters, you and I were talking about this earlier prior to going live, man. Dude, after this FOMC meeting, they've only got 2 shots before the election, bro, to go ahead and cut rates. And I think in order to pump Joe Biden's numbers up, because, dude, he's doing horrible on the polls, he's probably going to have Jerome Powell cut the rates in July 31st and September 18th. If not both, one of them at least. And it will probably be September 18th for sure, bro. And the reason he'll probably do that is because he doesn't want to make the market look good, because people will reinvest back into the market. The only setback about that is if money circulates back into the market, guess what's going to happen to inflation, man? The cost of everything's going to fucking pump, bro, to the fucking roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I don't see them doing it before the election, and I'm just talking out loud here. If at some point in time in the near future, the Fed throws in the towel and says, hey, that 2% target is no longer valid, and we're looking for 3%, 4%.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So,
yeah, I agree, though. I'm not expecting a rate cut this week. I agree. It'll be the next two. If it's going to happen, it's going to be the next two.
Yeah. Now, of course, this is always subject to change, monkeys. All this shit's always subject to fucking change. And if you see, I went ahead and I fast forwarded over to July 31st. And as of now, but this can change. As of now, there's an 8.8% chance that we'll get an interest rate cut, bro, in July 31st. This will probably change. And then if we go over here to September 18th, look what you get, man. 43.4% chance that we'll get an interest rate cut. Know what I mean? Now, remember, the election is on November 5th. And the next one after September 18th is November 7th, when we're going to have our next FOMC meeting. So with that stated, man, there's not going to be one in October. So if there's not one in October, that's why myself and Twinksters believe that it's probably going to be these two dates right here. Of course, September being the more sure one that we'll get an interest rate hike. Just be ready for inflation, cats. Shit's going to cost a lot freaking more, man. Food for freaking thought, dude. Food for freaking thought.
Yeah, so, Boogie, we've talked about this. One of my favorite things is I'm usually pretty good about the weeknight stuff. Fridays, I usually like to eat out or order out or get delivery or something. It's usually Pizza Fridays for me. So, just like we've talked about this, like just people going to McDonald's and stuff like that. It's $15-20 for people to get a meal at McDonald's, right? And so now when I start talking, okay, like pizza or whatever, it's like I'll just make it at home, or I'm going to go to a restaurant or something like that. It's crazy. And I don't have as many.
I've started eating in more, Twinkie. Fuck that, bro.
Right. I don't have as many responsibilities as other people do in certain areas. And I'm like, I can't imagine like being like, oh, like let's take the family out for dinner on a Friday night, or like Pizza Fridays and, with the family. Yeah, it's still probably more economical than other solutions as far as eating out. But even still, it's just gone up so much.
Yeah, it's retarded. Well, the good thing, though, is that here in Texas, 2 days ago, I went over to McDonald's to go get my coffee. And I asked the cashier, hey, bro, how much is a Big Mac meal? The conventional, run-of-the-mill Big Mac meal with cheese. He goes, it's not that bad, man. It's like $8, $7. Well, yeah, that's somewhat affordable, bro. In Cali, I heard that shit's like at $22. Large, shout out to Large and in Charge, man. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking retarded, dude. I've even heard that freaking McDonald's wants to freaking close its doors, bro, from freaking Cali and move the fuck out, dude. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure with some of the state governments there, and there's also been talks about charging people for refills at the soda fountain, and shit's getting crazy.
Yeah,
it's getting tough out there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, let's move on to the next coin that did get a fucking ETF, and that is none other than Ethereum. Current value is at 3,692. Fabulous fucking time to buy, in my opinion, bro. I think this is a good time to freaking buy.
Yeah, it looks like it's an accumulation range right now to me.
Yeah, it's oscillating sideways. We dipped a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, figuring out kind of what it wants to do on that front. Side note, so people are kind of sitting there saying like, hey, when can we start buying into the ETFs? This is my current understanding. If anyone out there is more of a, like, let's say, SEC legal proceeding finance expert on this one, by all means, I welcome any and all feedback and corrections. My current understanding is all the S1s effectively have to be approved, or an S1 has to be approved. That process typically on the fast side of things will be 1 month from filing, assuming no major corrections or issues, out through 6 months. So we potentially start seeing stuff in late June, early July, out to maybe closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I concur, bro. If you look at the chart, Twinksters, you can see that day 45, which could probably signify when we're going to start a new cycle, would be around June 15th all the way to about June 30th. Ballpark. That's what I'm noticing here. That's what I'm getting. And mind you, this is on the daily. We still have to hit up the weekly chart. And the good thing about it, though, is that the EMA ribbon is acting as a strong area of support here of a value of about 36.34, bro. And you can see that we're just on top of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have not yet penetrated it with a candle. We've done it with wicks, but not with a candle body in itself, which is pretty damn bullish, if anything. Well, it's safe, better stated. I won't say bullish, but it is safe. Know what I mean?
Just penetrating it with a tip. That's all.
Just the head, bro.
So what are the things I'll be watching for this week? I'm pretty happy overall with my Ethereum bag, but if, relatively, so to speak, cheap Ethereum pops up as an opportunity, I'll probably grab a little more to top up for some future gas fees. And I'll certainly be watching for Big Daddy J-Pal this week because, pretty sure when he says good morning, you're going to see the candle turn red for a minute.
Yeah,
and then, might be an opportunity to snap some more up this week.
Let's see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens, bro. I mean, they're expecting it. It may be that it's priced in already, Twinksters. You know what I'm saying? It may be that it's priced in. I'm assuming. You know what I'm saying?
Never know, man. It's a strange game.
Look. We probably dumped on this day, bro. On this day right here because it's priced in that we weren't going to get an interest rate hike. So it's already priced in.
Well, there was that too, right? And other liquidations too on Friday.
Yeah.
And there was that whole GME shenanigans on Friday too.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's look at this bitch on the weekly. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly, son. And here we go. You could see that we do have a shitload of support here where we're at right now. From these 3 candles alone, man. That is 3 weeks of support right there. Every candle represents a week. And you can see that we're riding that freaking support line there of a value of about 36.34. And next area of support, as far as the weekly goes, would be this white line over here, bro. And that would be 29.30. Now, mind you, the EMA ribbon is providing a shitload of support as well, and it is fanning out significantly, which is a good thing, which means we'll probably get volatility to the upside. You could see that the top portion of the EMA ribbon is at $3,200, and the bottom portion, I think, is at motherfrickin' $26.69. I'll probably buy a whole other ETH, bro. If we go back down to 26.69, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy a whole other ETH for that shit. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. My dad was telling me, bro, that he hasn't made any money with his Tesla stock. I'm like, Dad, it's not a bad option. I told him, not financial advice, Dad. Dude, go buy some ETH, bro. Go. And the thing is, I was listening to Charlie on his fucking on his webinar, bro, and he was saying, buy. I told my dad, why don't you get ETH? And then Charlie said, buy, dude.
There you go.
Dude. Talk about perfect fucking timing, man. Shout out to fucking Karn and NYC. A Wendy's meal plus burger is $25. Dallas barbecue is a reasonable substitute now. Damn, son. Fuck.
Holy hell.
Yeah, man. And freaking Brown. I use coupons at all fast food joints. I don't blame you, man. Ed, we were just speaking about you, freaking large and in charge. Smash the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment. And he's saying hi to you, Twinkie. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's going on, Large? Good to see you, man.
All right. Now, since we already covered that shit, man, we were already on the topic of fucking Illuvium. Let's go over to the Illuvium chart. Let's see what that entails, and then we'll move on to Phantom. Twinkie, remind me to ask you what Richard Hart did once we hit Pulse Chain, if you don't mind.
Sure thing.
I will freaking forget. Let's go over to motherfrickin' Illuvium, since we were talking about that shit. Illuvium's current value is at $85.34. Fucking fabulous price, dude. You know what I'm saying? The low for Illuvium on the 20-day cycle that I had was 82.01. But if I push this sucker over here, you could argue that this was the end of the 20-day cycle, which would put it at 24 days, which would be an anomaly. And that would be a value of 81.43. So it may be there, Twinkie, and it could be that we've started a new 20-day cycle. So if I grab my, go ahead.
Yeah, can you just real quick, actually, I'll shut up. I'll hold it for a minute. You're gonna flip to the weekly, I take it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll hold my comment for a minute.
Roger that, man. Roger that. Now, if we grab this, so if we do start a new 20-day cycle on this bitch right here, and we push it up all the way to day 14. you're talking about possibly getting a dip on June 21st. And if we push it out to 20 days, you're talking about June 27th. So food for thought. Those may be the dates that we're going to encounter next for another dip on freaking alluvium. On the daily, next area of support we do have is this mother freaking red box over here, bro. Yeah, it would be this red. No, we still have a little bit of support here on the daily at $84, bro. But I mean, it'd be dope, bro. We come back down to $77. Now, since we have already covered all the support and resistance lines, let's check the EMA ribbon on this bad boy, and it is bearish, man. We even have the 200 EMA over it, Twinkie. You know what I'm saying? Acting as an area of resistance above the EMA ribbon in itself, man. And of course, if you cats don't know, if the EMA ribbon is red on the top side and yellow on the bottom side, that usually tends to go bearish, if anything. Know what I mean? And then if you have your fucking 200 EMA above that, that's even more bearish. Now, the more this EMA ribbon fans out, the more volatility we'll get, and it'll probably be to the downside. Keep your fingers crossed. I would like to get it to the value of about $77.34 freaking cents. Now, let's go over the weekly, Twinkie. Let's check this out. On the weekly, son, let me turn off all these fucking drawings. What did you have, Twinksters?
Yeah. So, like, can you just like zoom out on that chart a little bit? I just
When in doubt, zoom out.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So, I know some folks in some of the chats have been asking, like, hey, what's the deal with alluvium? Am I too late? And look, are you catching at the absolute bottom? No. Let's just be very, very honest. No. But the all-time high was up around $1,800, right? It's trading for around $85 and some change right now. So $1,900 if you catch that wick.
20x. It's a little bit more than 20x, man.
Yeah, and some good change on that too, right? Let's just assume that alluvium is only okay as far as the reception, right? Like it just doesn't quite catch on. And I don't think they're going away anytime soon, personally. I think they've made a lot of real savvy business deals. Whether or not they're going to pull the Axie Infinity of this cycle and like be that juggernaut, I don't know. Okay, let's say $1,800 on that, sitting at around $8,500 today. Certainly there's been some more inflation in the token since 21 on that one. So the peak, may it recover its peak? Maybe, maybe not. I don't want to discount it. Obviously, they would benefit from other aspects in bonding and partnerships with things like Samsung or Ethereum cranking, since they are so heavily bonded to Ethereum. I'm thinking if the market goes the way I anticipate it going, yeah, new all-time highs, no two ways about it. So you'd still catch let's just say we're only partially right, and it's going to go up from here, but it doesn't reclaim all-time highs. Well, even if it's like half of that, you're still making a nice clean 10x on that from where it is today. Yeah, I think it's a great value. I've played the game like we were talking about earlier. I was streaming it last night. It's got some real legs. I think the gameplay is there. I think the world is there. Now we just need to see how the launch goes, marketing goes, community building goes. When your kids or your friends' kids start talking about alluvium and how they're playing alluvium, and maybe you introduce them to it, maybe not, then I think that'll be a really good indicator of how things are shaping up for them. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Now, as per what Twinkie stated, it does have a huge potential to run to the upside. Now, if we do just compromise this area here of about $324, bro, dude, we could run so hard to the upside, bro, with little to no resistance. We do have a little bit of resistance here at about $583, bro. But then after that, dude, it's just a shot to the top and going into price discovery, man.
Hell
so
yeah.
Again, this token's got a lot of freaking potential, man. And it is one of the safer plays. One of my homies' sons, he's about 22 years of age, man. I remember when he was a little boy. He asked me, hey, Mark, he said, what should I get? Boogie, what should I get? And I was like, bro, this is not financial advice, bro, but you may want to consider IOV, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the team's pretty solid, bro. The token's pretty damn dope, if anything, bro. And it's got an upcoming game. And it's basically a copy of Pokemon. And a lot like DeFi Kingdoms, there's a lot to do in the freaking game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do. And I think one of the things that really struck me with Kieran and his team on this, aside from the game, because the game does play well, it runs well, it plays well, it's got elements of that kind of Fortnite feel when you're running around, elements of Pokemon to it. There's definitely some strategy, card game, NFT, blockchain elements, crafting, RPG. It's the fact that it's an intellectual property they could, and the launch trailer definitely alludes to aspects of this. They could potentially do cartoons, right? Comic books, graphic novels, different types of gameplay just using their characters in that universe. Books. Yeah. I think what I suspect they're doing is really pursuing and prepping for a multimedia intellectual property delivery. Sure, gameplay is going to be one of the things that gets them in to bring in the crypto community and owning the asset NFT. Also, they'll have the folks who are maybe more liberty minded on that, and then just purely people who are going to stumble into it by way of entertainment. Yeah, I'm a big believer in the project. I have full disclosure, I do have Illuvium bags. I hope to see them go to the moon.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Twinkie has a lot of points with this. Now, for you cats that have never seen this, here's a little bit of moon math. And mind you, it can go higher than this. If you guys were part of the crypto mindset course, you guys would know what value there is a possibility of it occurring. And I didn't think it was possible, the value that the guys from Illuvium advised us. Now that we have the ETFs approved, bro, there is a decent potential chance it could run higher than what you're seeing here. Now, I know you cats are not TA guys, but if you look at the top of this fucking Fibonacci retracement, you're seeing 86.23. And I don't mean $8.62, bro. I mean $8,000, as a potential. And of course, it can do a lot more than this, bro, especially if it takes off. It does seem like it's going to be the hottest game this upcoming cycle, if anything, man. So maybe the rule of three ain't a bad idea, man. If you don't got a lot of dinero and you're Wojak working at McDonald's, man, 3 coins wouldn't be a bad idea, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do the rule of fucking once you get to a 3x after you hit the all-time high, that's $6,000, bro. Do a freaking 4x from its all-time high. That's what, 2468, $8,000. And then after that, man, sky's the limit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. We'll go to Applebee's.
Yeah, all kinds of Applebee's, son. All right. Let's move on to motherfucking Phantom, because that is one of the hotter coins right now. And Twinkie, you had called me and you told me, man, like, hey, dude, we broke this freaking support line that I was looking at, and that value, and I had actually drawn this up, man. And this is on the daily, by the way. It's this green box. You see it right here?
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, that green box support line was a value of 70 cents and about 71 cents. You can see that we had a shitload of freaking support there, man. And we did break below that. Current value is at 69 cents. Now, on the daily, could we fall all the way down here? An area that we could get to is about 60 cents. Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe we'll go lower and revisit this badass red box, white over red, and that would be 54 cents, bro. Yeah, I'm going to have to leverage myself out if that happens.
Yeah, if we start getting down there, I'm probably going to get a little degenerate on that stuff.
Now, we're probably not going to get a lot of volatility, though, cats, because, again, look at the EMA ribbon, man. You're seeing that it's tightening up. The EMA ribbon's tightening up, bro, which means that there's not a lot of fanning, so that means you're not going to see a lot of freaking movement. And we do have this 200 EMA coming up below and say, hey, just in case you fall, Phantom, I got you here at 63 cents. So we could maybe continue somewhat down. It does seem that we started a new 20-day cycle on this bad boy. Now, check this out. If I grab this measuring tool here, if I push this all the way here, that would be day 15 when we finished our 20-day cycle. And you can see that we would start a new one here in around day 14. You're talking about June 21st. That may be when we touch this freaking blue EMA ribbon. And it may be with a wick. Good luck trying to catch a wick, bro. I'd rather try to get a candle body than a wick. And if that doesn't occur that way, we'll possibly go all the way into day 21, which would be around June 28th. That's what I am noticing immediately off the bat. Now, mind you, if you do want Phantom on its native network, the place to get it is on crypto.com and on Kraken. Do not go buy the Phantom on Gemini, because that's ERC20 based, meaning that it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Is it still usable? Yes. You could definitely freaking remove your coins from your freaking exchange, which, of course, I'd advise you to do. Put it on your wallet and then bridge it over to Phantom, except you're going to have to pay some fees. Why just not get it on its native chain, bro?
Yeah, and you also, if you don't bridge it over, you lose the ability to operate in the Phantom DeFi space overall.
So there you go, cats. There you freaking go. Hopefully it does retrace down here. let's check this bitch on the weekly. Let's see how it's doing on the weekly. And
So,
Eric, go ahead, Twinkie.
yeah, Boogie, when it comes back to that trend line, because I was saying I was eyeballing a 72 cent, support on that trend line on my chart when I originally drew that out. I said one of the things I was talking to Boogie about the other day was I got to start labeling or putting dates on some of my trend lines. When did I put it in place? Right? Was I trending this out 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago? And that way it'll give me a better idea of what the potential relevancy is of that overall trend.
Yeah, it does have that option. If you click on this line right here, you go over here into the gearbox. You can type in a text like "hi," boom, and you see it's labeled right there as "hi."
Yep.
I mean,
yeah. I just gotta start labeling my stuff versus just playing with pretty crayons.
Yeah, so I get it. And I'm assuming you could probably make the size of the text smaller, if anything, man. So that's what we're on right now. And one thing that I am noticing that on the weekly, bro, we do have a shitload of support on Phantom, and the EMA ribbon is fanning out. So the likelihood of us revisiting this area here of about 54 cents, probably not likely. Maybe down here at about 60 cents, which would be dope. But if it does come down here to 54 cents, bro, capitalize on this bitch, bro. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Huge potential.
I would be.
Huge freaking potential, man.
Again, too, as far as other stuff, for anyone who's a Phantom believer, and I think they've got a lot of exciting stuff going on. The way I'm treating this personally is, and you're going to have to debate your own individual risk reward and risk tolerance on this stuff. Buying Phantom now is effectively buying pre-sale Sonic, is how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up freaking bridging over majority of my Phantom, bro. Screw that, dude.
Same.
I'm not gonna. I saw what happened with E-Hex and P-Hex, bro. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna use that data, bro, and just bridge it over. Karn, do 20-day alt cycles follow similar highs after midpoint for left and right translated cycle rules? Like a high on day 3 might mean new lows. Yes, it does. But it does fluctuate, and it's a little bit more volatile, man. You'll see more inconsistencies on the 20-day cycle, Karn. A lot more inconsistencies. And you may see more anomalies, if anything, man. I've seen 25, 26-day cycles on it, man. And that's not common. It's an anomaly. But it is what it is, man. Nothing's ever consistent 100% when it comes to fucking markets. Know what I mean?
Now, Boogie, in your personal experience, given arguably, right, if everything kind of loosely lines up the way it should, we should have 3 20-day cycles in a 60-day cycle. We know certain things tend to move more in 20-day cycles. Do you tend to find when you look at 3 20-day cycles in the context of a 60-day cycle, that volatility is smoothed out and it tends to adhere more to the 60-day cycle rules? So like Phantom,
obviously to Ethereum and Bitcoin, of course, right?
Yeah. So something like Phantom or anything else you've charted, and just kind of curious if in your experience does it tend to smooth out on the longer interval? I would think yes, logically, but I actually haven't looked at it at that level.
You do see dips and stuff like that, bro, but they're not significant dips. What's crazy though, man, is when you do see like for example, let's say you're checking the second 20-day cycle of the 60-day cycle, bro. You'll see a larger dip and you think, oh shit, bro, it went a little bit too low. This is an anomaly. But then when you start going out further, bro, everything gets back into perspective, because when you zoom out, you see, okay, it's even gonna go lower, or it's even gonna go higher, bro. That's some of the things that catch you off guard, bro, sometimes when you're looking at cycles and shit like that. And, dude, sometimes – and a lot of times, bro, and I noticed this with Dogecoin. I remember I was checking the freaking wicks on Dogecoin, bro, and the chart I was using was shit. The wicks were too damn volatile. So I had to get rid of that chart and get a better chart, bro, that showed me more consistent wicks. You know what I mean? And it may be because that exchange didn't have a lot of liquidity in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So, like – on that chart topic, I don't know if we addressed Karn's earlier question about a candle for BTC, and where he was mentioning he thinks, Karn, keep me honest here, man.
Let's see.
Beating the cycle high, but Bitstamp missed it by $9.
Let's see. What do you guys, is this it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Think of the candle on June 7th. BTC Tether on Binance shows us beating the cycle high, but BTC USD Bitstamp missed it by $9. I'd like to think we are on a new cycle high. I'd have to check out that chart, man. I'd
have to poke around, and certainly we've seen some weird charts come out of Binance over the years. Not just them, but in recent memory.
Binance is horrible for freaking Dogecoin, bro. It was freaking shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if it's a quality of data issue, if there's just something screwy with the way they got the liquidity set up or the way they report it out.
Yeah, and I imagine Binance would be more on point with this shit, man. Dude, they used to be number 3. It looks like Solana's starting to beat them out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's going to be that's going to stick pretty much this cycle. We'll see how things react once CZ comes back. Side note, I think I read an article that said CZ is like the highest net worth person in federal prison right now.
Well, soon. I mean, if they take Donald Trump to prison, bro. Wait a minute. No, CZ will probably be richer than Donald Trump.
Yeah, so like net worth, right? Yeah. So, hey, man, if you're telling me, what he paid was like a $4 billion fine, I think it was $4 billion fine. I think that's what it was. $4 billion, 4 months. Anyway, but net worth 40 bill. Hey, man, you telling me bro, you're going to go to jail for 4 months, but you're still going to be worth $40 billion on the far side of it or more, depending on when he comes back and things are running, right? Yeah. Not a bad deal.
You go to prison, bro. You go to prison with that type of dinero, man. All you got to do is go in there and freaking hire the strongest dudes in there, the biggest fighters in there, bro, and say, hey, I'll fill up your commissary, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll fill up your commissary, all the freaking potato chips, all the cigarettes, all that other shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Especially they put you in a freaking violent ass prison like they want to put Trump in. They want to put him in Rikers Island, from my understanding. That's supposed to be one of the most violent fucking prisons there is out there, dude. You know what I mean?
So,
and I think one of the politicians was talking about even removing the Secret Service. Of course, you can't do that, man. You're gonna have to pass that through Congress and the Senate. That's not gonna happen through the Congress, son.
No, and I remember, was it during the pandemic? They were talking about releasing inmates from Rikers Island during the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like releasing them back into not even Gen Pop prison, like civilians. What?
Yeah, man. Dude, I've heard of Rikers Island. I don't know too much about it. I've heard that it's one of the most violent jails there's out there. You know
I've heard the same. I don't know if that's just legend from back in the day or still true, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, man. That's like San Quentin from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. Large in charge. I know what you're talking about, man. They put you in a room by yourself. All right. Moving on to the next fucking token. You know what? Let's have some fun, man. Fragrance of the fucking day. It is, yes, I agree. It is a juvenile fragrance. It is played out, but it don't
Drakkar?
mean shit, man.
Drakkar?
What do you mean your car, bro? I don't
understand. No, Drakkar. Drakkar Noir?
Yeah. No, bro. It's not that juvenile, bro. It's not that. That would actually be an old man scent, bro, because that's
these days, yeah that's like juvenile for you and I back in the day.
You know what I'm saying? With that stated, man, this is a juvenile fragrance, but hey, who gives a fuck? If you're 43 years old, have the younger 21-year-old call you daddy, man. And what I'm talking about is Lucky 1 million from Paco Rabanne, bro. Chicks love this shit. Is it played out? Fuck yeah, it is, bro. But it works. Don't fix what's fucking not broken, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is fucking good, bro. Now, what fucking what spices do you get from this? What freaking scents do you get from this? Most of all, it is a nighttime fragrance. Do not rock this in the fucking 117 freaking index heat of Texas, bro. Because you're gonna choke people out, man. It is warm and spicy. You do get some cinnamon out of it. According to what people say, they got citrus. My nose ain't picking up the citrus, man. I do get a little bit of leather in there, man, and some patchouli. This is a good smelling fragrance, and on average, it runs for about $83. Let me show you cats what I mean. If you go over to fragrancenet.com, you can get it for a damn good price of about $83.99. Of course, they got it here for $119, but if you get this 30% off by using a new email, they'll give you an $83 value added, and it's a 3.4 ounce or the 100 ml, man. So food for thought, cats. This shit works. Great for the evening, man. Do not be scared to overspray this bitch. Of course, don't do it on a plane. Don't do it in a car, man. You know what I'm saying? Food for freaking thought. Have the young ladies call you daddy, man. And what I'm talking about is them 21-year-old ladies. You know what I'm saying? This shit fucking works. Who gives a fuck if everybody's got it? It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zenith. What's up, lad? Zenith, you're all late, dog. You're super duper late, but nevertheless, you're here. Better.
Yeah, but he and the boys were working on their channel.
Oh yeah. Shout out to fucking the cats at the DGen Roundtable, man. With that stated, I got 42 people here in the freaking video, in the freaking chat, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Link at the bottom is for Twinksters. Make sure you follow his channel as well. He's always dropping alpha. Alex P, love that one. Smells amazing. I concur. 110%. Now, Twinksters, let's go have some fun since we already fucking covered a fun fragrance. Let's go over to Giga Chad, son.
Yeah, because Giga Chad don't stink.
Yeah, Giga Chad don't freaking stink because he is Giga Chad. Let's see what we got. Where's he at? Mr. Giga Chad himself. This is the current value of Giga Chad right now. Let me turn this fucking drawing off. You can see that the value is at about 22% of a penny. It is touching this area here, man. It's already whipped past this area here. And a lot like that meme that I showed you earlier, Twinkie, that's what I felt like when you told me it dumped this much, bro. I wanted to pick up some Giga Chad. 21 million market cap. Twinkie, you got it at what market cap?
About 12 to 14. And it was as high as, I think, 34 the other week. So, might be an opportunity to start DCAing in for anyone who's looking at this one.
Yeah, so this wouldn't be a bad time to DCA. Now, mind you, it is a meme coin and you can't get wrecked. Twinkie, you said that these cats actually have the Twitter handle for Giga Chad, right?
Yeah, so like they got themselves like I think temp band or whatever, but they actually have the at Giga Chad handle. They're also at Giga Chad meme. They have some UFC fighters representing them. Mike O'Hearn has represented them. They got an apparel brand, Giga Fitness or Giga Chad Fitness forthcoming. Very active in the Telegram. People know who Giga Chad is, right? I'm like, okay, it makes me laugh. It's simple. It's, it's below 100 mil market cap, right? So
it's got potential, man. It's got
potential. It is a meme token. Don't put in when you're not willing to lose.
Yeah.
But
don't put your whole fucking portfolio in this shit, cats. You will get wrecked.
Yeah, you know what though? Like we'll be sitting here saying like, don't put your whole portfolio, and the fucking thing will moon to like 11 quadrillion billion gazillion dollars.
A number that we can't even say. If we put in $100 in this, Twinksters, $100, you drop $100 into Giga Chad, you'll get 44,742 tokens, bro. Now, of course, Giga Chad would be a great time to DCA right now. Of course, it would be a badass time to DCA. But if it does come down here to an A, because it does seem like it finished its ABC wave or its Elliott wave from 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then we went a little bit into price discovery to 5. If we do retrace back down here, I would love to get it down here, man, at this area that I highlighted here. And that value would be at about 3 zeros and a 2 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like, look, if this thing cracks over $1 billion, you're probably talking like a 45, 50x on your money, right? Do I think it's got the legs in it to potentially do that? Yes, I do.
Absolutely, man. This token, dude, it is so memeable, bro. I mean, Pepe, Wojak, freaking Giga Chad, bro. That shit is so freaking memeable.
Like classic memes, right? So
yeah, man.
Like, so they had one today that made me laugh. Here, let me just do a quick share on it.
Sure.
Right, the Giga cycle.
Look at that shit.
But if you like, so this is on their meme page, like that. So because they have at Giga Chad, which I think is suspended right now. So there's been like this free Giga campaign that they got going on. Let's see here. But like now they're like they got Cobra Tate, DJT, Dan Blazarian, Martin Shkreli. They're tagging, trying to make everything happen. Yeah,
it's memeable, son. You know what I'm saying?
Just like 18% of the supply over 18% of the supply is held by normies. Why is the Giga the long-term play? Because it's Giga Chad. I feel it. It makes sense. It is that simple.
Yeah, man. This got a lot. Dude, I got to give you a shout out. I remember you told me about this shit. I was just so fucking memed out, bro, when you told me about it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, it's you ain't got to put a whole lot in, but do I honestly think there's, a good opportunity to catch like a 45, 50x on there? Sure do. Surely do.
Giga Chad's got a shitload of potential. Look who we have here, man. I almost missed him. Mr. Black Label Expat. Shout out to
BLX. What's good, man?
What's pop? And we got Brandowski here, man. We got Mr. Brandowski. What's up, homie? What's up, man? Now, what the hell is this freaking Farmer J? What is a good fragrance for the hood rats at the swap meet? I would say, dude, you can't go wrong with Versace, bro. You know what I'm saying? Versace's great for the hood rats. You can go, if you're Mexican, go with Versace Eros Flame because it's a little bit spicier. If you're not Mexican, just go with regular Versace Eros, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's probably one way to go about it, bro. You know what I mean?
Speaking
And
from
it's
experience
affordable.
with the swap meet hood rats boogie.
Hey, man.
Every dog has this day. You do what you gotta.
Dude, you know all thug people rock Gucci, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Versace. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you guys want another meme? Yes, drop the meme in the chat, homie. And we got freaking farmers just say, I'm on my way. All right, man. The next freaking token we're going to cover, and that is going to be motherfucking Pulse Chain. Now, Twinksters, I reminded myself, what did
well done.
do, man?
Yeah. So give me 1 second here. Let me just pull up his Twitter so I can show y'all. All righty. And let me present this out just so I can kind of talk through it.
No, wait. Okay, cool. Let me pull this up at the stage. Ready?
Yeah, ready to rock, man. Cool. All right, so we're on Richard Hart's Twitter today, and if you look at this, he is not following anyone today. So I know DCC mentioned like he's been followed and unfollowed a ton and the like, and I was like, oh shit, Richard Hart not following everyone. That's interesting. Why would he can all his followers? So I started skimming through his posts here, and he had this post 5 hours ago. When you don't follow anyone, no one can chill trash and say, buy this trash, Richard follows me on this stuff, which makes sense. Also, he's out pointing out the founder of Bitcoin isn't known to follow anyone on Twitter. This account follows Zero as well. When you don't read Twitter but follow people, you have no idea what trash might be fed by the algo of your followers. Thus, to protect your followers, it's safer to follow no one. Ethics win. So yeah,
I could see
interesting.
where he's coming from on that. I can see where he's coming from on that, man.
And we've seen it, right? I mean, like, look at all the insanity that's popped up on Pulse Chain. Some of it useful, some of it really pushing, I think, in coming forward with interesting technical ideas. Some of the things which are clearly designed to separate you from your Richard Hart tokens.
And DCC called it, man. He had mentioned that Pulse Chain was going to become an area where they dump memes like they do on BNB, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Except we haven't had as many rugs as BNB has had. You know what I'm saying? Well, then again, we haven't been been alive as long. You know what I'm saying?
You know, like, who knows?
Yeah. Shout out to Large in Charge. The meme token Large in Charge is talking about is blow. And he doesn't mean Coke. He literally means the bloater freaking fish from DeFi Kingdoms. Bloatercoin.com. I got to look into that Large in Charge, see what the deal is with that, amigo. I got to see what the deal is with that. Well, speaking of Richard Hart, let's move on to motherfucking Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain is giving people heart attacks, Twinkie.
Yeah, I've seen some people get ultra salty about it, right? Like,
yeah, man. Yeah, now we know there's that freaking whale that's got all that motherfucking RH coins, bro. That's still dumping out there, bro. You know what I mean?
I think his majority out. But yeah, I think he had 500 something billion, and it dumped like 4/5 of that. It's like 80% plus or more. Yeah. But here's the thing. I know a lot of people believe in Richard and his past performance. He's a smart dude. He tries to do good for the people as far as I can tell. Certainly he's got Sci-Vive. He's warned people about scams. He's been very good about calling out what he believes to be bad actors in the space. So many of us are betting on Richard, his team, his potential for Pulse, PulseX, Hex, incentive token, and whatever future things he may do. Yeah, I think for the people losing their minds over this stuff and losing heart, that is probably a sign you are overly allocated into Richard Hart projects. And I'm sure I'll catch some flack from some of the Richard Hart maximalists and the Hex maximalists or what have you on that. Look, there's an element of needing to be able to be okay. Ask yourself, what is the worst possible outcome relative to what you have done with Pulse Chain, Richard Hart tokens, and the like? If that thing happens, how are you going to react to it? I'm not sitting here saying I'll be super happy. I'm saying I'll be all right in the grand scheme of things, because I hold a number of tokens that we've covered over tonight's stream and on other streams. I am not solely dependent with a hope and a prayer about Richard Hart is my Lord and Savior and my only mechanism to elevate my life. If that is a situation you are finding yourself in, personal opinion, you are doing it wrong.
Yeah. If that's how you're feeling, cats, when Ethereum dumps, make sure you guys fill up that Ethereum bag, bro. That's why you're feeling the way you are, man. You know what I mean? You got to have that stability in your portfolio, or else you're going to be freaking losing your mind. The people that are completely 100% in the pulse chain ecosystem, bro, dude, like, man, this is the price you pay, man. This is your mental, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the price you pay, son.
And we're seeing people make stupid moves, right? And look, I understand in many ways alternate tokens and the pulse chain system and any system for that matter, right? And one might even argue altcoins are leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum performance. Realistically, a lot of those other tokens, they're leverage type plays on pulse chain or some of the other Richard tokens on that. What I'm also seeing is people getting bored and or desperate for gains. And so they're swapping out key assets for other things that are increasingly speculative and further along that risk reward curve. You can't turn on Dex Screener or like Pulse Chain crypto Twitter without seeing some new meme coin and or scam coin. To be fair, not all of them, not all meme tokens are scams, but a lot of them are just basically, from what I'm seeing, just designed to separate you from your Pulse Chain or your other tokens on that front. So people get bored, they get desperate, they feel like they have to start making moves, and you don't. Sometimes the right move is to do nothing and just hold your bag. Now, don't round trip everything, right? And you're going to have to ask yourself, how long is a period of underperformance acceptable for you? And at this point, it's not like it's been years. Do I have reason to believe Pulse Chain is going to zero? I do not. Do I think it may go down? Sure. Do I think it may go up? Absolutely. Certainly hoping for it. In general, the upside potential far exceeds the downside potential in my personal estimation and analysis. So don't get bored. Don't do anything stupid or sloppy. If you are going to trade out your Pulse X, Incentive, Hex, make sure I wouldn't personally do a majority of my Richard portfolio, and certainly stay on it. Take some best practices too. Make sure you can sell that token. Make sure you don't get yourself rugged on those types of moves. But I think for many of you, if you're feeling that unease, better bet is do nothing. Just be patient, DCA into some other stuff, or even double down on your Pulse Chain position.
Yep. Now, with that stated, man, Somi did mention that right now that what we are going through is everybody's investing in the meme tokens within the Pulse Chain ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, bro, there's eventually going to be a cycling back into Pulse Chain. Yep. Not to mention, bro, that we have still a solid ass fucking community within the Pulse Chain ecosystem, bro. We still have that fearless leader. And the only thing about him right now is that he's kind of Daniel Defense right now. What do I mean by that? He's pending a court case. So I would only assume that if the SEC or the judge does extend the freaking the court case all the way up into freaking 2025, 2026, bro, he's not going to drop the freaking case. If anything, dude, Richard's probably going to come out and endorse the fuck out of it, bro. That's what I'd expect him to do, because dude loves to talk shit, and talking shit and backing it up makes you feel good, bro. And I think that's what he's probably going to end up doing, and probably pump the shit out of fucking Pulse Chain, if anything, man. I do understand that there's going to be a lot of freaking hexagons there whenever that court case goes live, and that's going to have an effect on the judge, man, if anything, or at least it should. Know what I mean? I think we're going to be fine, bro, but you should have had half of your fucking portfolio in ETH or Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Here, Karn says, yeah, ETH mentality balances things out. Some of us had to learn that shit the hard way, man. We got my amigo here, freaking Moonpilled Rational Optics. And, of course, Larger Than Charge dropping that alpha. Let's cover this alpha a little bit before we go further into the Pulse Chain chart. If you have been fishing with your heroes, he's talking about DeFi Kingdoms, you can fry the bloater fish from DeFi Kingdoms for a 10K-X.
10,000X, you saying? Okay. All right, man.
There you go, man. There you go. I mean, Larger Than Charge has always been big on freaking DeFi Kingdoms. Let's go back to the freaking Pulse Chain chart. Current value is at about 4 zeros and a 5-0. We are only on day number 9. And if we push forward all the way into freaking June 15th, bro, that's when we could end up getting our low before we start a new 20-day cycle on this bad boy, man. Or it could be an anomaly, and this will be the last day that freaking Pulse Chain will freaking dump, and then it'll rally. But for the most part, it's usually pretty consistent on these 20-day cycles. I'm sure you cats saw an anomaly here. We have this freaking cycle that pushed all the way up to 29 days, man. That is a big-time anomaly, if anything. As sometimes that happens, man, within the altcoins, bro. So if we do push up all the way to day 21, you're talking about June 22nd. Areas we could co-revisit 4-0s and a 4-3-6-3. And I do have this area of support right here, bro, and that is on a day. Let's check this sucker out on the weekly utilizing GoPulse.com.
Hey, Boogie, you got any volume indicators you can flip on that chart for a second?
Sure. Present. You want to go back to the daily?
Yeah, daily's fine.
Let's see. Sun volume right there. Boom. See it here at the bottom.
Yeah. I was just kind of eyeballing, just seeing if we had any surges or major drop-offs in volume, but it looks like it's been a steady decline in volume for the last several days.
Yeah, you can see it, man. Know what I mean? So that's the way it's going as far as volume goes, man, at the bottom of the screen. Let's go over the week. You got something else, Swingsters?
No. And I was talking with a friend about this the other night. Volume to me, on its most basic level, is just an indicator of interest. So, Boogie and I were talking about this the other night. And while I believe in the potential to make mad gains, and I know Richard has said green candles are the best marketing possible, what's my pitch to the normies? And hey, there's this really smart guy who's done 10,000x plus previously. We're banking on him to do it again. Okay, what else is there, right? It's still Coast is back online. I know that they've resumed some onboarding paths and operations on their side. But what's the other general pitch to bring people into the Pulse Chain ecosystem aside from, development projects? Again, many folks who are watching this, you're not the audience I'm referring to. No disrespect, right? It's, hey, the person who's grinding it out at their daytime job, the McDonald's or Best Buy workers, or maybe the landscapers or whomever, right? What's the pitch? Actually, leave a comment in chat or comment on Boogie's video. I'd be very curious to know what you're using as part of your onboarding pitch. And I know at some of RG3's events, like Pulse Chain Tour, we're talking about fixing the money to fix the world, which I believe in, right? I think a lot of issues start to go away if we move to a harder money-based system. Yeah, Z, we did drink the Pulse Kool-Aid. Tastes delicious.
What do you mean we drank the Pulse Chain Kool-Aid? Hey, it is what it is, man. Dude, I do like the fact that Pulse Chain is decentralized, man.
That is true.
Over time, I think it'll probably, people are building there. That's what you got to look at. People are building within the ecosystem, and they're not stopping to build. And you're seeing people meme it out as well. Know what I mean? And we have the most streamers on YouTube, if anything. Know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly. It's a fiercely loyal, dependent, and tough community, right? They're not going away. They're not quitting. They're not going away. Which cool, very cool, right? It'll keep the projects alive. Yes, there are a lot of builders, but what cool stuff is getting built on Pulse Chain? And there's stuff that's technologically interesting, some of the gift tech stuff, liquid staking derivative from, I'm drawing a blank on it. Was it Project Pi? I think is what it is. Okay. What other cool stuff is forthcoming that's on there to bring adoption to Pulse Chain? Because world's largest free airdrop, while maybe true, didn't really draw them in, or it hasn't yet. Cheaper and faster than Ethereum, somewhat. So it's very challenging. I know Boogie, you and I have talked about brainstorming some things in the back end, but how do we bring more normies over to use the chain, leverage the chain, and also how does it benefit them? What's in it for them? How do you pitch to them? That's the one I've been struggling with recently. So yeah, tag me on Twitter, tag Boogie on Twitter, leave a comment on here, drop a comment in chat. Just curious to hear what people think.
Number go up. I think that's crazy. I think that's Richard Hart, straight to the point. Number go up.
It's true. It's very, very true, right? But here's my gripe with not everyone, but a good chunk of the Pulse Chain community. To be fair, okay, it is a legitimate. It is a legitimate argument for Pulse Chain. There's this not insignificant portion of the Pulse Chain community that the only path to success that they are arguing for is sack daddy, pump my bag. That's it.
Yeah.
So what are you doing about it to change it? What are you, of the controllables you can control, which ones are you working to modify, tweak, improve to your benefit and to the community's benefit? That's the one I'm struggling with.
Yeah, man. Damien does make a good point. Ethereum ETF inflows will pump our L1 bags. And I've said it before, man. Once you got Ethereum at about $4,000 and you got freaking crypto.com or Crow token at about 50 cents, dude, we probably got retail back. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Zenith is correct. We can be successful without Sack Daddy. The fundamentals are there. The same way it was with motherfucking doggone Bitcoin, if anything, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, right? And Karn follows up with a good one with the comment about the Sack Daddy begging is so annoying.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm just getting a little bit tired of it from certain sectors of the community. It's all right. We'll keep doing what we do, and it's also why I have multiple assets in my portfolio.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Dude, like, just give it some time, man. I think once crypto.com gets to about 50 cents, 40 cents,
Yeah,
bro,
40, 50 cents. Yeah, I'm with you on that
retail's
one.
back, son. Retail's back. And I think even though that Richard Hart, let's say they do extend the freaking court case, bro, and we don't settle till fucking 2026, he's probably going to start marketing the shit out of it because he likes to talk shit. And talking shit is fun. That's why I love Floyd Mayweather. That's why I like Conor McGregor and Donald Trump, bro. Because if you can talk shit and back it up, what's not to like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was swapping messages with Almighty, and just like I was like, look, man, if like the pulse chain thing doesn't work out, the good news is you're forever pre-rich, forever fully allocated.
Yeah, man. Let's go into the weekly chart on Pulse Chain, man. Let's see what it looks like on motherfucking Pulse Chain. Go to gopulse.com. Click on this bad boy here, and we're setting up the weekly chart on this bitch. You can see that major areas of support that we do have are completely highlighted here, man. Next area of support that we do have below is 0.4s and a 4.5. And then below that, the last area of support we do have is 4 zeros and a 3.953. People ask me, well, what happens after we go below that, man? Then we end up falling harder. That could end up happening. But we could use the wicks as area of support as well. So the lowest wick we do have would be down here at about 4 zeros and a 2.769. And I will back up the freaking truck, bro, and start buying a shitload of Pulse Chain, bro. If that happens, they come down that low. Know what I mean? That's where it does seem on Pulse Chain. Hey, you cats want a discount? We're living in it. The discount's here. You know what I'm saying? Capitalize on that shit. Not financial advice.
Yeah, and the benefit of building out a bigger bag at these lower, so if it's below your average purchase price and you believe in the project, right, and it's money you can afford to lose, I'm encouraging you, not financial advice, I certainly will be, as I see certain thresholds on the chart, DCAing in more to build out my bag further. Why? Because if everyone is collectively, a lot of people are going to be looking for a 10,000x because they sacked like $1,000. Right. So that they're looking for that $1 million off 1,000. So if you build a bigger bag, so you are increasing your exposure to this, you are able to exit out at a higher absolute dollar that much sooner. You don't have to wait for that 1 cent mark. Maybe you're exiting out at 3/4 of a penny, half a penny. Right. So you might have the opportunity to front run some stuff, or you can DC out for a longer period of time. It is unlikely, assuming the long-term success of Pulse Chain is what we all think it will be, that you will be able to build as big of a bag size as you can now. It's really prime opportunity for getting yourself set up and situated for many years to come on Pulse Chain.
Twinkie, I remember you were talking about this one individual, bro, who got all his Pulse Chain and Hex stolen, bro. And
yes.
Dude, right now is the opportunity, dude, to make that comeback, bro.
Yep. This is
Nerd
it.
Girl, I think it was Nerd Girl, bro, on Twitter. She got her shit.
Yeah, she got jacked.
Dude, right now's the time, man. Right now's the time to make that comeback, son. If you want to freaking end up freaking making it, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time, monkeys. It is the time. The thing is, do you have the balls to freaking go buy that shit? It takes guts, man. It's scary buying down here. Shout out to my homie Tex-Mex. That dude's got freaking, where was it, Toro, bro? That means balls of a fucking bull, dude. You know what I mean? That dude's got freaking big old freaking Japanese kamikaze balls, bro, buying down this low, bro. I'm buying big time too. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, cats. I'm hoping you monkeys enjoyed the show. We're gonna go ahead and end it right here. Go ahead and follow my homie Twinkie. Twinkie, where can we find you at?
Yeah. I recently started streaming on Twitch as well, but at Mr. Angry Twinkie on Twitter, YouTube, Let's see here. Where else am I? A Telegram. You can tag me in there. I'm Angry Twinkie on Twitch. I got to set up a link tree just to get everything routed for everyone. But was recently playing Illuvium last night, just streaming that so people can go check that out. I'll probably stream that again this week because I know a lot of the Moon Gang and DRT Gang and some of the other extended
Do
communities.
you have a multiplayer mode, bro?
Not that I've seen. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm assuming. Look, the framework is there. They can take this in a lot of different directions.
Dude, if they have a multiplayer mode, bro, we can stream that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll figure something out. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Feel free to tag me, drop me a line. More than happy to talk with everyone.
Yeah, I know we're ending it, but I think it's that one individual, Andrew Wilson, bro. He's that Christian.
Orthodox Christian. Yeah, Eastern Orthodox.
Eastern Orthodox Christian, bro. He StreamYards some of his freaking shows, bro. He just plays video games because that's one of his things he likes doing with his son, bro. So, dude, that would be pretty freaking dope. Play some ILV, bro. If it's got multiplayer mode, that'd be pretty damn gangster. Well, enough of that. You guys want to follow Angry Twinkie's channel? You look at the link at the bottom. I got his name highlighted. And if you look further below that, you'll see my freaking account on Twitter and you'll see my account on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow me there. Same freaking handle, US_Crypto_Boogie. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It motivates me to keep you fucking cats informed, man. You know what I'm saying? So I will catch you monkeys on the flip side. Hit it, Twinksters.